The Book of Nahum, chapter 1, the Lord's anger and comfort. The story begins with the prophet Nahum speaking to the people about Nineveh, the capital of the Assyrian Empire. Assyria was known for its cruelty and had oppressed many nations, including Israel. Now God has a message for Nineveh. Their time is up. Nahum describes God as a powerful and just ruler. God is slow to anger, but when he does get angry, it is fierce and unstoppable. Mountains shake, rivers dry up, and the earth trembles at his presence. God is like a raging storm against his enemies, but for those who trust in him, he is like a safe shelter in a storm. Nineveh has been wicked and violent, plotting against God and his people. God declares that although Nineveh is strong and has many allies, it will be cut down. God promises to break the chains of oppression from his people. Nineveh will have no descendants to carry on its name, and its idols and temples will be destroyed. Chapter 2. The Fall of Nineveh. Nahum's vision shifts to a dramatic scene of battle. He sees the enemies of Nineveh preparing for war. The soldiers' shields are red, their armor is ready, and chariots race through the streets like flashes of lightning. The Assyrian soldiers stumble as they rush to defend the city, but it's too late. The gates of the rivers are opened, and water floods the city, breaking down the defenses. The enemy invades the city, and Nineveh's palace collapses. The once mighty city is now in chaos. People flee in panic, and the city is like a drained pool with no one to stop the flow. Nahum taunts them, saying, "Stand, stand," but no one turns back. All are running away. Nineveh, once known for its wealth and treasures, is now plundered. The great lion's den is empty. No one is there to roar or defend it. God declares, "I am against thee," and the city's strength, power, and pride will vanish. The destruction is total, and Nineveh is left desolate. Chapter 3. The Bloody City's End. Nahum calls Nineveh a bloody city, filled with lies, violence, and endless cruelty. The sounds of chariots clattering, horses charging, and swords clashing fill the air. The streets are filled with dead bodies. There is no end to the carnage. This is the price of Nineveh's wickedness. God speaks directly to Nineveh, saying that he will expose its shame to the world. No longer will Nineveh be admired or feared. Instead, it will be a spectacle of horror. Nations will look at Nineveh's downfall and rejoice, for it had spread terror and destruction everywhere. Nahum reminds Nineveh of Thebes, a mighty city that was also destroyed despite its strong defenses. Nineveh is no different. The city will be devoured by fire and sword, and all its efforts to protect itself will fail. Its leaders will flee, its soldiers will be weak, and its walls will crumble. Nineveh, once a great empire, will be left empty and hopeless. Nahum ends with a final note. There is no healing for Nineveh. Its wound is too deep, and all who hear about its fall will clap their hands in celebration. The cruel oppressor has met its end. God's justice. The story of Nahum is one of justice. God may be patient, but he will not let evil continue unchecked forever. Nineveh, a symbol of cruelty and oppression, ultimately faced the consequences of its actions. For those who trust in God, Nahum's message is one of hope and comfort. God sees, and God will act.